webinar finish here. If you have a 3 license and you want to go to 10 licenses, the reason you have you can get 10 licenses because you have more employees, and that means you're making more money. So you can afford to pay the additional $50 a month on a monthly fee. So after this, we get offline here and the webinar is over. Once we close it, there's no longer opportunity for you to upgrade. So if you really want the 10 licenses, just go for that. And you get the benefit of having the hour with me that show you my lead generation systems. I walk you through and see how you can apply it, and then you get the hour you can spend with Chris. So if you really want 10 licenses and want those 2 things, just go for it. Later on, if you want to upgrade, there's no opportunity for you to upgrade. So.
Yeah, if you upgrade again, it's going to be the regular price, which is a $50 per month, every month recurring, correct?
Yep, per employee.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, that's way more, much better on this one time. So a couple of the other questions on here. A lot of people are interested in the lead generation and reason. For example, even if you're not into offline marketing, the lead generation for offline businesses is very, very lucrative. For DUI attorneys and accident attorneys, for example, they pay up to $150 to $300 per click for Google AdWords, and these are firms that already have, $10,000, $20,000 budgets per month for Google AdWords. If you provide leads for them, you can charge a very similar price than that. That's an absolute goldmine niche to be in. That's something for you, for those of you who are a part of my paper called Ninja course and our paper called Software. You already know that's what I do. That's my primary source of income. And the other question on here is, for people who are interested in the lead generation, whether it's offline or launch jacking, do you provide the training videos? How do they learn how to do that, and then how do they transfer that knowledge over to their new outsourcers?
Sure. So I provide training on how to outsource the lead generation and how to manage your people. Like, I provide you with my own systems on how to do that. Now, it's kind of like a general overview, and I give you exact real-world examples. But once, if you have videos, I share with you some swipe files, all those type of things. Now, if you do it one-on-one with me, I then talk to you. You can ask me anything. So if you say, hey, Gonzalo, how do you do this part? I share with you the swipe files. Now, let me tell you how the one-on-one phone call works with me. Okay. So the moment you decide you're ready for the one-on-one after you go through the course, I send you a little survey that you answer questions, that kind of like what your goal is, what's your business, and all those type of questions. Very simple. And I go over that, and I review and strategize on what would be the best thing for you. Then we have the phone call with me. It's a Skype, recorded phone call, and the reason I record it is I go literally like 300 miles an hour. The reason I do that is I want to make sure you get value, and I answer every question that you have, any possibility thing I cover. I record the phone call, and you get the recording 48 hours later, so you have access to that forever. I also, any resources I mentioned, websites, files that you need, I provide those also in a document as a link for you, so you have access to them. So if, let's say, for example, I do a lot of, and we might kind of walk into that a little bit, but my system is so simple and powerful that anybody can apply it. Now, the reason I have a system that's simple and powerful is when you have foreign people doing these things for you, it has to be systemized, right? I treat everything like McDonald's. I literally want to take someone from the street who's never done something and can do this for me. So everything is systemized, broken down, so that there's no broken parts in the system. So in a one-on-one phone call with me, you can actually spend time on how you can apply that for your business. So let's say, for example, you want to, and I share with you a simple technique. Let's say you want to land like offline clients, right? Like leads and things like that. I'll show you a strategy on how to actually do that. So I teach you how to actually land clients, and then we talk about how to actually apply the same technique to actually get clients for them. Because the technique is pretty much all the same. right? Because landing a customer for yourself or a client, one of the things you have to know about me is I don't like to be on the phone, and I talk a lot about and share with you my techniques on not only how to hire foreign people, but one of the things that people don't realize is you can even hire people in your own country, and I show you how to do that. And I show you a website, and I think it could probably pull it up right now while we're talking, is that people post that they have experience about cold calling, and they can go out and they'll make phone calls for you for roughly between $5 to $10 an hour. So let's say, for example, you have a list, and let me ask you, a list of businesses you want to acquire to send them leads. Chris, let me ask you, in your program, the typical person, how many potential local businesses do they have in there to send them leads?
Yeah, absolutely. So basically, what we're doing is, say we've got we've got leads coming in through our pay-per-call program. Let's say in the Phoenix area, there's going to be about 20 at the most DOI attorneys that we'd want to work with. So they only need to contact those 20, and we just usually end up doing business with only one. So once they close one, that particular client is easily worth minimum of $5,000 per month with the leads we're generating, because they pay a lot of money for these leads.
Okay, well wow. Okay, so now do you see, guys, for someone at $250 and then they're paying for themselves using lead jacking, how it would be a no-brainer, right? For someone at $5,000 a month. So that's a little bit how I do it. Now, I do things a little bit differently, and I can share with you that in my one-on-one with me. Because my background is in investment banking, I don't sell leads for people for $60 or $100, because I was used to always working on success base. So let me give you an example of this. So if you go to someone and say, hey, listen, I'm going to give you 5 leads at $60 each. I'm sorry, 10 leads. And they get one great lead that closes. Mentally, they're like, oh, I paid for 9 leads that didn't generate anything. And like, oh, that just cost me money. And even though they're paying you, let's say $600, and they made $10,000 from my client, they'll still kind of sometimes to me complain about like, oh, I just paid $60. So I changed that. I have them pay me on success base, so I record the phone calls, the tracking, I do all that kind of stuff, and they pay me only in success. And I ask them for a percentage of the revenue or the profit. So sometimes I get as much as 25 to 50% of the profit for generating them sales. So it's weird. People will pay you $5,000 to get them a sale, but they'll complain about $60 for a lead, right? So I kind of do the thing that Mark Twain does, which is the opposite. So I do this for like real estate investors. I have my own real estate company. They do this with realtors that pay me 25% of their real estate commission for every client I get them. Right? So in South Florida, a typical house sells for $300,000. 3% commission is $9,000. But let's say it's $10,000 to like make it like even rounded. 25% commission to me is $2,500. So let me give you a little technique that I did. I had my outsourced employees email divorce attorneys in Florida, in South Florida, and said, hey, we're a real estate company who specializes in divorce clients. We know it's a sensitive issue. We can help them. And then these divorce attorneys, they then send leads to my realtors who pay me 25% commission for every transaction that they close. So for me, I'd rather get $2,500 for every sale than $60 a lead. So and if you want a one-on-one phone call with me, I can share that technique to you exactly how I do it. And we can show you and see how we can apply to your business. So, so for example, on the divorce attorneys, they get emails from us. We do retargeting ads. I can show you exactly how retargeting works. That when we email them, they open up an email, and ads follow them throughout the internet. And I teach you exactly what are the best ads that work the best for that. And then here's the most powerful thing, guys. I teach you and share with you, when you cold email someone, how to get those people, when they open up the email, you'll say a simple thing like this, like the system, I'll show you how to do this, notifies you, hey, this person just opened up the email. An hour later, one of my cold calling guys calls him and says, "Hello, Mr. Smith. I'm calling from so-and-so, and I sent you an email. I want you to follow up if you had a chance to read it yet." "Oh, that's kind of weird. I just opened up an hour ago." "Yeah, tell me, how can you help my divorce clients or my personal injury clients or whatever it is, right?" So that is an example of how we use technology. I should teach you how to do that yourself to be exactly in the moment at the perfect time. So, my technique is I try to hit everyone in multiple angles, and I hate cold calling. So I'm going to give you some, here's a website they give you that you can use that has people that will work for you on a success. A couple ways they'll work for you. They'll work for you on a success base, right? Which means like if they get a sale, you pay them. And these are American people, guys, right? On a success base or on a flat fee or a combination of both. So you can hire someone for $10 an hour to make phone calls for you, right? And realistically, if you have to, let's say you're soliciting 10 businesses. Realistically, you're not going to need more than someone on a weekly basis, let's say 3 to 5 hours a week. Let's say you pay them $10 an hour. That's costing you $30 to $50 a week for someone else to do the cold calls for you, right? Well, I mean, it's worth it to me. I hate doing that kind of stuff, right? So I hire someone who specializes in cold calling. The mistake a lot of people do is they hire someone full-time to do everything for them. And if you hire someone who's very good at cold calling, for them to do emailing for you, it's not worth their time. That's why you use your guys at $250 an hour to do that for you, right? So that's one of the big differences. Hire each person for what they're good at, and sometimes it's better to hire them on an hourly basis and you use them on an as-needed basis, right? So in the one-on-one phone call, I can go over that with you, show you exactly how you can do it and how you can apply it for your business. I also do this in foreign markets. I have one guy took my same technique and has applied this in Germany, in the UK, even though they speak the same language, and the same thing. They can do the same thing in those countries. Because no one's doing this, guys. Because most people say, I want to be internet, I don't do cold calls. My guys who do cold calling for me have a conversion rate of roughly about 10%, right? Because no one does it.
Hey, hold on just one second. I don't mean to interrupt you on this. I just want to go through this really quickly. Just thank these people on here. And I just let them know that they're in. John's in, Robert's in, Sue's in, Kim's in on here. Lynn, we've got 3 Brians that are in. Keith is in. Steve, Barry, Don's. It's hard to keep up here. Trevor on here. And I'm afraid that we're either sold out or really close. So if you could just let me know where we are, because I can't see that screen.
Right now we have 2 spots left for the 497, guys. So whoever wants to take the last 2 spots, I'll answer some questions and then we'll close down.
Yeah.
When you log in, if you go to the website and if it says 0 left, that means I'm sorry, there's no more 497 programs left. So we have 2 left. So if you have any more questions, I can answer them, and then we're done, guys.
Yeah. So and just last 2, I see Derek's in, Rex is in. Congratulations. Philip got in on here, and so we got 2 more spots in here, and just want to kind of reiterate a couple of things here. We're at a very unique time and age where we're able to open up businesses without brick and mortar. I mean, that's because of the internet, and then we can also take advantage of the arbitrage between the income and the value of the currency in countries like the UK, Australia, Canada, United States versus other parts of the world like the Philippines on here, where the dollar value is different. So you're able to hire these people who are college educated, have 3, 5, 6 years experience, either in a call center environment or some kind of outsourcing environment. So these are seasoned people that are working. These are not part-time jobs that they're looking for. These are not jobs that they're seeking in order to wait until they get the job that they really want. These are career jobs in the Philippines. I used to, in the day, run call centers in the Philippines, so I understand how that works and the quality of work there. And there are many outsourcers from the Philippines. I preference the Philippines myself, that have spent the last 4 to 5 years in a call center at night, their time, doing cold calling to places like the UK and the United States and in Australia. They're already seasoned veterans at this, and if you can you can pick up these people because they would love to work from home rather than working in a call center type environment. It's very cramped in there, it's a small environment, and the opportunity to be able to work at home is a huge plus for them. There's usually, the way it works there is that the call centers are usually located like in Manila. It's more of an expensive part of the town, and they've got to bus in these employees. It's usually an hour or two commute total. So if you can save that, and some of them have kids, and just the freedom to work from home too. So awesome on this and that. Just
well,
Bob, congratulations. Yes.
Let me add something to that. That's such a great thing. I mean, most people in foreign countries, their dream is actually to work for an American company and to be able to go out and not have to spend an hour commuting, right, each way. And if you think about it, it's a better life, especially for single moms or other people that really need to work hard. My guys have been with me for years. The level of loyalty that you get is amazing. Like, let me share one example, Chris. I don't know if you remember several months ago, maybe 6 months now or something, when they had the tsunami in the Philippines.
Yes.
The typhoon. And one of the things and it just blew me away. I had one of my employees, or a couple of my employees, travel by foot to a different province, take buses, do that whole thing, so they can work for me. Right? The dedication, I mean, just blew me away. And that's the thing, guys. I do pay my guys after working with me for a while more than $250 to $300 a month. I give them bonuses. But if someone made you $3,000, $4,000 that month, you have no problem giving them a bonus of $200, $300, right? And my guys stay with me forever because I treat them right, and I show you how to manage your people right so that they stay with you forever. Let me tell you a fast story. When I hire someone and they've been with me for a month or two and they've done a good job, I go out and I send them extra money and I tell them I want to sponsor a dinner for their family and their friends in the local area. So I send like an additional like $50, right? Which in those countries is a lot of money. And they buy a bunch of food to have a dinner. Then I find out what day they're having the dinner at what time. I then hire a local florist to deliver flowers to the mom and dad with a message that says, I want to thank you for your son or daughter, right, whichever they had, for the amazing job that you did. They're one of the most valuable employees I've ever had. I just want to congratulate you and thank you. Now think about this. If you're the mom or dad, how would you feel that during a dinner that friends and families are there from the community, you're getting this message delivered in front of you? As a parent, you're going to be so proud. As a kid, imagine how you would feel that this was in honor of you. Do you think you would ever cheat that company from time or productivity ever? Of course not. So I do this, and I've had employees email me back and say, by the way, my internet was not working, and my mom told me I had to go to my cousin's house to work because it was a storm on their computer, right? I mean, you have their mom, because in those countries it's very common for them to live with their parents, to the middle or late, 20s, maybe early 30. So you end up having the whole family push for you because you're such a great boss. So those are the things that, I want to show you. They're not just a number for me, like paying them less, but they grow with me because I'm making more money, and I show you how to take care of them so that they can actually feel like you're a great boss. And when you have great employees, they'll start coming up with ideas for you and go the extra mile just to help you be more successful. Now think about it. If you're going to hire a general administrative person in the U.S. who has knowledge, who has a college degree, it's in the U.S. we're talking about, that person is going to cost you $35,000 to $45,000 a year. This system has gotten me the same quality of people for $250 to $300 a month in the beginning. And that's why I'm able to leverage myself so much. That's why when people ask me at this business cruise I went to, how are you able to be in so many markets? Because when you have superstar people for so cheap, you can do so much in your life. So one of the things I want to say with you guys in closing now is, in my in my life, we always have this idea, this picture of ourselves of like, I'm gonna do what I want to do, take the vacation I want to do, spend time with my kids one day, right? My dad and my parents came to this country illegally from Argentina. And I know that's bad, it's wrong, but I was a small kid, and I was like 5, 6 years old. Because they came in here illegally, the only job they could work was at a swap shop or a flea market. Because of that, my dad had to work 7 days a week. I remember my whole growing up time, I only took one vacation with my dad. Now, even though my dad's a great guy, I never saw him. I never wanted that for the same experience for my own kids. And in life, you're either the master of the slave or a slave. And if you work for someone, you're the slave because they dictate your schedule. But sometimes your own business, you can be the slave to your own business if you're doing everything yourself. So guys, I want to challenge you, if you do buy the course or you don't buy the course, that's okay. But just go out there and experience the possibilities of being able to leverage yourself with outsourced employees. And realistically, if you can't afford the $497, get the $197. It's a no-brainer, right? Don't spend the 10 years that it took me to really systemize everything and have it perfect. Just go ahead and have that done for you so that you can experience someone making money for you while you sleep. Trust me, even if you do the launch jacking, which is, you using launches to get money, when you have the one experience of someone making money for you while you sleep, and the machine is working for you 24/7, your life will never be the same. All right, guys, and you're going to remember this as a pinnacle moment. So I look forward, guys, to see you guys in the Facebook group, having the one-on-one phone call with me, and thank you to Chris and everyone for your time.
Awesome, awesome. We still have got 2 of those spots open there. So if you're at all interested, now's the time to do it. Once we close this webinar, it's going to be over with on that end of it. I just want to point out a couple of things in here. I just realized this. Actually, somebody in the chat box pointed it out. I have never done one-on-one coaching before. I've had a lot of people ask me, and I've had people, say, well, I'll pay you $1,000 an hour. And it's just something I just never wanted to do. So this is the first time I've ever offered that. So I just want to note that there. We're not, I would encourage you that once you get in, and for those of you who have, go over the course, set up your one-on-one with Gonzalo, and then come to me and we'll set up the time together that works best for both of us, because I want to kind of go over more high-level stuff. I've got a lot of kind of more high-level techniques on how to run your business rather than the nitty-gritty. We can do that, but I think all that will be covered throughout the course. I want to spend more high-level on here. How did I go? It was no accident that I went from broke and nothing, and within a 12-month period, starting a business, grows 1.6 million, and I've continued to grow that business every single year, and starting to work less and less and less. Now, I'm not talking about push button on here. I'm talking about creating systems on here to be able to go online and manage teams of people online in this virtual world that we live in now, and be able to look at Matrix, understand from a glance, say that, for example, this year alone, myself and my family, we've lived in Hong Kong, we lived in Malaysia, we lived in tiny islands I can't even pronounce, and we're in Korea, and now in May we're moving to Barcelona, Spain. So, and I also homeschool my kids, which doesn't mean that I just put them on the internet. I actually enjoy interacting with them, and I spend hours with them a day doing that. So how do I do that, lead a life and all that kind of stuff, and manage 34 employees, and manage an ongoing growing company, and keep on top of everything that's changing? You can do this kind of stuff when you have systems in place. Okay, this didn't happen for me by accident. I've spent literally hundreds of thousands of dollars in private mastermind groups. Some of you may know the owner of Mind Valley. I'm in a private mastermind group with that. That is not cheap, okay? And that's because he's 20 steps ahead of me. His company grossed $50 million this year, and at the same time, he opened up 6 more new businesses, okay? And so I get to rub shoulders with him and learn from the best, and I get to pass that stuff on to you during that hour on that. So I want you to know that's really rare, okay? So just, you know, that alone should be it, but on that of it. So I appreciate that, Chad sending me some love on there. Thank you so much. Yes, Paul, when you get in the course and you go through this course on here, I'll share with you the systems I use online, the matrix that I use. I use a combination now of Basecamp and Excel sheets, and I'm not the one who fills out the Excel sheets. My project managers do, and it's able for me to quickly glance and look at different aspects of my business, and I know right away, are we headed in the right direction, are we not, where are the immediate holes, and I can look at those once or twice per week. It really takes me about 30 minutes to do, to really absorb it, and then I've got usually a 1 week a consultation where everyone gets on a Skype call with me and my project managers, and we go over the different teams' projects and stuff like that. And then I pull back, okay? I can comfortably work 10, 15 hours a week, okay, and know that my business is growing and thriving. If I put a little bit more time into it, another 10, 15 more hours, working 30 hours a week, my business is going to grow even more. But it's only because I'm working off of the leverage of other people, and I've created systems. It's all about systems, guys and gals out there. It's not about the grunt work. It's not about, you know, it's you know, you're looking at your business and you know what, I'd really like to implement Facebook retargeting. I'm not going to be the guy that's going to learn the nitty-gritty on how to do it. I'm going to have the overview of understanding the process, knowing enough that it's important to implement into my business, and then I hand the course off to a trained employee that I trust, okay, and their job is to learn that, get back to me with an overview of the highlights of it, and then we create with a team manager on how we're going to implement that in the matrix so that we can measure it. I can immediately measure it on a daily basis on how it's working 5 minutes per day, okay? This is how you get stuff done. This is how you get stuff done on a larger scale and still lead a life out there. One of my favorite entrepreneurs is David Branson, because he's the master at just hiring other people to run his businesses. He's not like the Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs was a different type of incredible visionary, but he was the guy who rolled up his sleeves, and he was the 60, 70-hour work guy, but also managed a whole team of people. There are different types of entrepreneurs out there, and I really like the Branson model. He's just out there hiring people that are smarter than him, okay, and can get the job done, and that's what you're doing on here. So. Awesome. Okay, so some questions coming in here.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, Paul. I mean, if you want to talk about private blog networks, it's going to be your hour, so that's not a problem. We can do that. On that, I would honestly answer those questions for you on the one-on-one, how we do it, how we set it up here. But I would also try to steer you into kind of stepping back 30 or 40,000 feet on how you can get someone else to do that for you.
Let me add something, Chris. Let me add something here. Yeah. One of the things that, you know, in marketing, in the internet world, whatever, you know, new techniques come up, like Facebook marketing, Google Hangouts, SEO, things like that. If you're going to do anything in your life, and I always told myself this, my number one job is to be a master at creating systems and managing people. Because what happens is these new techniques that come out, if you're able to outsource for cheaply and master people, no matter what the next thing is, you have a team working for you. It's not for you to learn how to do the next Teespring campaign or whatever crazy things people do nowadays, because then you're always chasing the low-hanging fruit. You know, you're kind of like the horse with a carrot in front of you. But when you are like a true business owner, it's actually to have systems. It's actually to run a business like McDonald's, like Subway, to actually that you're able to then say to your team, hey guys, like I give you an example. I'm doing a lot of Facebook retargeting to land clients, right? All I did is I bought 3 courses, you know, and send some resources to one of my guys, and said I want you to go over this stuff in the next week and a half. And what they did is they went through all the courses, all the materials, all the reading, research about it, and they came back with synopsis on what they think I should be doing and why we should be doing it. And guess what? I didn't have to spend 28 hours of learning this stuff for me. Now I have a person who learned how to do it, but not only that, they documented the system so that if they need to leave, guess what? I already have a system. The great thing about JoyProof that it records their screen while they work, if you ever have a guy leave, then you have a recording of how they do things. More importantly, if you're reviewing the recording and you notice they're doing something incorrectly, you can catch it right off the beginning, not wait 2 weeks later. So guys, thank you, Chris, for having me on here. It was so much fun, and thank you guys for everything.
Awesome on that end of it. So I'm just going to answer a couple more questions here, yeah. and if anyone else is like you've got I'm on the fence kind of question, just put a Q so I can see it because a lot of other questions come on. This is if you're on the fence, you've got to get this one answered question, so I can point that out here. But I just want to go over a couple of questions on here. Chad, you're welcome. Okay, cool. Okay, Gonzalo, you've got a couple of kind of private ones there. If you want to answer those from Lisa, and I'll take care of some of these others. Alrighty. So Brian on here asks, this is a good question. He asks on here, how do you track basically the monitoring? So let's say, for example, Brian's asking here, you can monitor, he's talking about pay-per-call, you can monitor and track the initial lead through call tracking because you've got recording on there, and you've also got the actual tracking itself that you can track through your reports. But how do you monitor the deal's closing a week later? All the calls are recorded, and it doesn't matter. There's some states that have certain regulations on it. Any good call tracking system like ours will have that option where it just gives a little message before the customer picks up the phone that says, "Hey, this call may be recorded for quality assurance and training purposes." I'm sure we've all heard that before, and that allows you to record and save it on an MP3 file. On our system, it's all saved there, so that's how you can track that stuff through. I would not recommend that you personally go through and listen to all the calls. You can randomly go through them, but you should have somebody on your team that's in charge of doing that, and then and then they've got some kind of key matrix that we can talk about in the one-on-one consultation, how you would set that up so that you can quickly look at it. And they might even drop in 1 or 2 random MP3 files that you can go and listen to because maybe you want to listen to the closed deal on that end of it. But the entire process is monitored using the JoyProof, and if you're in the pay-per-call lead generation business, then all the way to the recording of the actual customer. So the entire thing in this day and age is now can all be captured. So it's a good question there.
One more thing also, to make sure I do that, I guess the link for the free demo of the JoyProof video, my employer video, let me send it to you, is joyproof.com/video. So if you want to put that, Chris, in there, just make sure I keep my word, that you'll get a free sample of my employer video, and that's all you'll get. You'll just get a link to my employer video on YouTube that you can see it. So you can go to that later on after the webinar is over, so you can actually get it emailed to you. And that will show you our video, just to make sure you guys have it. Because even if you go out and do this, at least I want to make sure you guys have an idea of what an employer video should look like, so you can actually copy it.
Awesome. And that was joyproof.com/video.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, got it. That'd be pretty easy. Okay, cool. All righty. This is great. David asked on here, we're all rookies at everything, right? So he said, I'm a rookie at all this. Will I be able to get this off the ground easily and quickly? And I would say absolutely yes. The training, maybe you don't recall, but some of the testimonies on there were, most of them all commented on how well the training was. And Gonzalo is a stickler at just giving you the exact stuff that you need, not a quick kind of brush over, but leaves out all the little details, but yet not too long. So it's perfect in the learning environment. And I wish when I was a total newbie at hiring people and starting to build a business that I had a course like that. at least 18 months of trial and error. So if you're a newbie at this, congratulations. You're ahead of the curve.
Well, and that's the great thing is, if you have your guys, and I tell people, okay, if you're going to hire someone, don't go crazy and hire 10 people. I had one guy hire like 5 people in his first time. Like, whoa, slow down. Hire one person. You're going to train them to do, a specific lead generation or launch jacking or something that can help you get more business. Because, if we're honest with our day, as a business owner, realistically, maybe 10% of our time is spent on critical things. The rest of the time is spent on busy work. So that's why when I hire someone, I focus on lead generation, and because I know it's not going to cost me money. So if you have them do the launch jacking or offline lead generation for your business, or even solicit partnerships for you, right? Whatever it is, you're able to have a focus on that. Because realistically, for an employee for $250. I mean, you could be the worst manager. You're scared. You don't know what you're doing. I walk you through every step of the way to make sure that you're okay. You can, you're able to have access on Facebook with everyone else who's done this. And I have people who are managing, teams of 10, 15 people now, right? Because they're able to do it. So the big thing is, I have a belief that it only takes one. I'm going to share something with the group, Chris. This is, I think, either my 3rd or 4th webinar in my life. Ever.
Hard to believe, my friend. Yeah. Hard to believe.
Well, here's the crazy thing. I remember doing my first one, even before I got on the call today. You get the fight or flight, feeling. You get nervous, blah blah blah. All I did is I had my guys surf the internet webinars that people talk about. I had them download those webinars. I don't know why they thought and why people said those webinars were good. My guys do this, watch like dozens of hours of webinars, so I wouldn't have a panic attack before I was. Of course, I felt like I was going to have one, but here's my thing. My belief is it only takes one. Because here's the thing is, if you're able to do something one time, there's no reason you can't do it 100 times. So if you take the bull by its horn and hire that one employee for the first time ever, and you see them make money for you, you're going to remember this day, say, wow, the webinar that I was with Chris and Gonzalo changed my life. It only takes one guy. So, take the bull by its horn. Remember I said you're either the master or the slave. Because here's the thing is, we always have that idea of ourselves, of that we're going to be different than we are. And there's never going to be a better time, right? Oh, when I have more money, when I have more experience, when I read the next book about running a business. No, you go out there, you learn it, you get a couple of scrapes. But the great thing is when you're able to use a system that you're able to learn from someone's, the collective experience over 10 years of doing this, and learn from the mistakes, you're able to have a lot less mistakes and be able to apply it to your life. And guys, for those who bought or didn't buy, thank you everyone for your time. I really appreciate it. And at the end of the thing is, I used to volunteer in a nursing home. The biggest thing that people would say to me, like these nursing homes, because I like volunteering, would say the only regret I had was not taking enough chances. I played it too safe. As business, it's human nature to want to protect ourselves, but the rewards only happen to those who take a chance. So it's not going to be in the next course. It's not going to be the next book. It's going to be on the moment that you decide that you're going to take a chance and believe in yourself. And that's the thing, guys. Before I did my first webinar, I literally had a panic attack, and I thought I was going to leave the room because it was something I've never done before. Well, guess what? Being your own boss, outsourcing for the first time, you're going to be nervous, but you're going to have all the tools for you to succeed. And then you're going to remember and laugh, and then you're going to have your 10, 20 employees like, wow, I have free time. I remember when I used to be this way. So, guys, thank you. I'm excited for everyone here on the call.
Outstanding. So I think we've answered all the questions on here, and wanted to thank everybody, particularly our guest today. He was awesome, and I think you can all feel and hear his integrity and his expertise and his voice and what he shared. And everybody who showed up for the call, surprised how many people came on here is fantastic, and is spending your valuable time with us today. I hope that we served you well on that end of it. And for everyone else in the call, remember to serve first, earn more, and live more. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.